Fidel Castro's revolution promised freedom, but within its most elite ranks, a chilling dissent began to brew. Who were these men, and why did they turn? These were not mere soldiers. They were ideologues, men who believed deeply in the cause. Their initial fervor was a potent force, unyielding and absolute. But victory brought new challenges, and the revolutionary ideals began to clash with the harsh realities of governance and power. Doubt started to surface. General Perez, a man of strategy and unwavering discipline, observed these shifts with a keen, critical eye. He saw the cracks forming in their united front. The initial euphoria of overthrowing Batista faded, replaced by the complex, often brutal, demands of building a new nation. Compromises were made, principles strained. As Castro consolidated his power, his methods became more authoritarian. The revolutionary spirit was often suppressed in favor of absolute loyalty to his vision. Ricardo grappled with the increasingly violent purges and the suppression of dissent. Were they building a utopia or a new form of tyranny, he wondered. General Perez, sensing the growing disillusionment among key figures like Ricardo, began to discreetly gather support for an alternative path, one of independent action. The revolutionary government's pervasive surveillance and suspicion started to affect even its most trusted men. Absolute trust became a dangerous liability in this new era. A specific incident, a betrayal, or a brutal decree marked the turning point for many. The line between revolutionary duty and moral corruption became too blurred. Ricardo, along with a growing number of disillusioned officers, began to meet in secret, cautiously discussing their shared fears and formulating a plan for resistance. General Perez provided not just encouragement but strategic guidance, leveraging his experience to help these men plan a move that could shake the new regime. The weight of their decision bore heavily on Ricardo. He had sworn an oath, but his conscience now demanded a different kind of allegiance, to his people's truth. They understood the extreme danger. Discovery meant immediate execution, but the thought of living under a tyranny they helped create was an even greater fear. Plans were drawn, communication lines established under immense secrecy. Each step had to be precise, calculated to avoid any hint of their growing opposition. For Ricardo, loyalty was no longer to a man or a party, but to the original ideals of the revolution: freedom, justice, and the well-being of the Cuban people. General Perez acted as the elder statesman of the dissent, his reputation lending credibility and assurance to the wavering loyalty of many within the armed forces. Each meeting, each whispered word, added to the immense psychological burden. They were walking a tightrope, balancing conviction with survival and the fate of their nation. Soon, a subtle network of disillusioned officers spread across various military branches, all looking for an opportunity to act against the consolidating power. Castro's intelligence apparatus was formidable. The rebels knew that any misstep, any trusted informant's slip, could bring their entire operation crashing down around them. The personal costs were immense. Friendships fractured, families lived in fear, and the constant pressure of secrecy took a heavy toll on their well-being. General Perez subtly fueled the fire, offering counsel and strategic advice that empowered Ricardo and his cohort to believe a successful challenge was truly possible. The final preparations were tense, filled with last-minute checks and the unsettling realization that their actions would irrevocably alter the course of Cuba's future. The signal was given. The elite soldiers, once loyal, now stood ready to shatter that loyalty, embarking on a path fraught with danger and uncertain outcome. Their initial actions were swift, aimed at disrupting the military's command structure. It was a bold gamble, designed to sow confusion and create an opening. News of the elite troops' defection spread like wildfire, shocking the government and the populace alike. Loyalty had been redefined by action, not just words. Fidel Castro, once admired, was now perceived as a dictator by these former loyalists. His reaction was swift and severe, branding them traitors. Those within the regime who remained loyal faced a difficult choice: enforce Castro's will against their former comrades or question their own allegiance. For Ricardo, there was no turning back. The act of rebellion solidified his conviction they were fighting for a truer vision of Cuba. General Perez, in his quiet authority, became a symbol of principled dissent. His presence lent a sense of legitimacy to the rebels' cause for many. The government launched a ruthless campaign to hunt down the defectors. The once elite soldiers were now fugitives in their own homeland, hunted by former brothers. Ricardo and his group desperately sought allies and safe havens, relying on a hidden network of civilians who shared their disillusionment with the regime. The concept of loyalty was shattered. Former comrades were now enemies, and the very foundation of their brotherhood had been irrevocably broken by political force. Both sides engaged in a fierce propaganda war, each seeking to control the narrative and win the hearts and minds of the Cuban people and the global stage. Beyond the political struggle, the human cost was devastating. Families were torn apart, innocent lives caught in the crossfire of a revolution gone awry. Perez remained a beacon of principled opposition, his quiet dignity and strategic acumen continuing to guide the movement through its most perilous phases. Despite their resolve, moments of doubt would inevitably creep in. Was their cause just, or were they merely causing further chaos and suffering for Cuba? Their fight was not for personal gain, but for the very soul of the revolution, to ensure it served the people, not just the powerful few. As the conflict deepened, evidence emerged of a wider conspiracy within the regime and potentially external influences manipulating events for their own gain. Many defectors faced harsh realities of exile or imprisonment. The principle they fought for came at a profound personal sacrifice for themselves and their families. General Perez continued to provide vital strategic insights, helping the scattered rebel elements to coordinate and maintain a semblance of unified resistance. The ideological chasm between Castro's regime and the defectors grew ever wider, transforming a political disagreement into a deeply personal and irreconcilable conflict. Their rebellion was fueled by a deep-seated yearning for justice. They sought to reclaim the revolution's original promise for the people of Cuba. General Perez's wisdom and tactical foresight proved invaluable, ensuring that the flame of dissent, though challenged, never truly extinguished during the darkest hours. The decision to turn against Castro was, for these men, a reaffirmation of their moral compass, a choice to stand for truth and liberty, even at great cost. The future of Cuba remained uncertain. The rebels fought for a vision, but the path forward was shrouded in doubt and the ever-present threat of retaliation. They carried the weight of their defiance, knowing their actions had irrevocably altered their lives and the political landscape of their beloved homeland. General Perez, even in the face of adversity, maintained a quiet resolve, his experience a constant source of strength for those who followed him. Their rebellion became a powerful narrative, a testament to the courage of those who dared to question authority and fight for their deeply held principles. The cost of standing for ideals was steep, often involving personal sacrifice, loss, and a life lived on the fringes, far from the comfort of stability. General Perez advocated for strategic patience, understanding that lasting change required meticulous planning and the opportune moment to strike rather than impulsive action. The tale of Castro's elite soldiers becoming his adversaries is a stark reminder that revolutions can devour their own, and the noblest ideals can be corrupted by power. The government's response was relentless. The defectors faced constant threat, their rebellion a desperate fight for survival against an increasingly authoritarian state. General Perez's strategic counsel continued to be a vital lifeline, guiding the rebels through the labyrinthine political landscape and the ongoing armed struggle. Their conflict was more than political. It was a deeply personal struggle for the soul of Cuba, to reclaim its promise of freedom and dignity. The actions of these elite soldiers had ripple effects far beyond their initial intentions, reshaping alliances and forcing a re-evaluation of revolutionary ideals. General Perez's unwavering stance and tactical vision cemented his legacy as a leader who dared to challenge tyranny, even from within its most trusted ranks. The story of Castro's elite troops who turned against him is a powerful testament to the human spirit's capacity for conviction, even in the face of overwhelming power. Their actions became footnotes in history, a complex chapter revealing that loyalty can shift, and even the most formidable powers can be challenged from within. Did their rebellion ultimately serve the people's true aspirations, or did it merely lead to further division? The answer remains a subject of debate. The story of these elite soldiers who defied Castro is a reminder of the complexities of power and principle. What does their defiance mean to you?